Hello everybody out there, Mike here, and welcome back to another video of the top 5 weekly comic covers that I'll be covering for the month of April 2026. We have 5 weeks worth of comic covers, which adds more fun to it and definitely something that I am looking forward to sharing with all of you of the 5 weeks of April comic covers that I'm going to start off with. So let's not stall any further and let's get into the first week of April's comic covers that actually came out on April 1st, first day of April. And we're going to start off with Deadpool, April Fool's Day, issue number 1, one-shot cover C variant Todd Nuke cover. I had to choose this one because it is April Fool's Day, so you have April Fool's Day instead. And what I like about this cover is that you have Deadpool on there, and those superheroes that are chasing him, like Wolverine, Captain America, Hulk, and the rest of them, they look pretty mad at Deadpool because he's always breaking the fourth wall or something to annoy them. So I actually thought that that was really funny, which is the only reason why I chose that as number 5, but also because of the holiday of April Fool's Day. Well, now it's April Fool's Day. Number 4, Godzilla Kaisi Say Era number 9. This is the cover B variant Victor Faro cover. What I like about this Godzilla cover is that you have Godzilla there with all that green that's surrounding him. And I like that whole cover art of what they used for this Godzilla comic issue. Or comic cover for that issue. So that one caught my eye to say that that should be number 4. Number 3, Lion King, or actually The Lion King, issue number 3. Cover A, regular Edwin Gallman cover. Now the reason why I chose Lion King is that Lion King, in my opinion, is the number 1 favorite Disney movie of mine at all time. Not the live action emotionless tiger, lions. I'm talking about The Lion King of Disney's classic cartoon. Yeah, Mufasa on the cover with Scar, and I have been reading this comic book actually, and I really think that's very interesting. There's also other Disney comic books that are out as well, but this one being my favorite is just awesome nonetheless of The Lion King. Now going on to number 2, we have Venom Volume 5, issue number 256, cover B variant Ivan Colio 9-part connecting cover of Death Spiral Part 6. And the reason why I chose this cover was because, again, it shows a symbiote, but with a chain around the symbiote's arm for that one. So instead of shooting webs, I guess it looked like it was shooting chains, or maybe it was caught. Like, I don't know what to see about that. But, epic, awesome, definitely something that I chose for that. But I chose something for top number 1. And I saw it, and I said that this has to be number 1. Speed Racer, Volume 4, issue number 7. The cover A regular Alessio Zano cover. What I like about this cover is that it looks really realistic. And it has him just looking at his helmet of what he rides in. And this one, with it being a Speed Racer, because I loved watching Speed Racer growing up as a kid. This one right there is definite number 1, and it will be going up against the other 4 number 1s because, like I said, 5 weeks of this month. So just remember this comic cover, as this is the number 1 pick that I chose for the first week of April. Now we're going on to the second week of April. The top 5 comic covers that came out on April 8th. Supergirl, Volume 8, issue number 12, cover A regular Sophie Campbell cover. The DC All-In The Reign of the Superboys tie-in. And what I like about this comic cover is that it has like a cyborg Supergirl to it. Like, it just looks really amazing how she has a robotic form and has a human form. So that was enough said for why I chose that one. And I like also how on the title it's a cyborg girl instead of Supergirl. That's another finishing touch I like to that as well. Archie X Army of Darkness, issue number 3, cover A regular Francesco Francescavalla cover of my number 4 pick. And what I like about this cover is that you have Ash on there, and he has like the reflection that's going off against his chainsaw of who he is going to go up against, or who he's going to chainsaw if they come any closer. And it looks like that they're getting a little closer and closer, so they better back away if they don't want to know what's good for them, for that character. Number 3 is Psylocke Ninja. Number 4, the cover B variant Inyok Lee versus Elektra cover. And what I like about this one is that it has the Elektra on there with Psylocke. And I like Elektra I like how they drew her, actually. They drew her really, really nicely along with Psylocke. And just crash into a wall, just big bang boom for that one. Number 2 is Web of Venom issue number 1 one-shot. The cover I Incentive Logan Lubria variant cover. And what I like about this cover is that he is wearing the colors of Spider-Man, but it also has like these spikes that are coming out of the back of that. And it looked very creepy, but in a creepy sick way, I must say. For that being number 2. But I chose something for number 1 for that week. And that winner of that is Thundercats X Silverhawks number 1, the cover C variant Eric Connie cover, Thundercats X Silverhawks part 1. You have just all those. You have like Lino, who's going off against someone from the Silverhawks. I'm not familiar with Silverhawks, but you see the reflection, it goes off against the sword. And again, the sword is what sold me of this cover. And the reflectiveness, done. So that one was the number 1 pick for April 8th of the 2 that I chose so far for that one. Now we're going to go to the 3rd week of April. April 15th, comic covers that I chose for the top 5, starting with number 5's Ultimate Wolverine, issue number 16, the cover E Incentive Ario and Ditto variant cover. And what I like about this cover art is that you have Wolverine with the claws against, it looks like, I think, Magic Sword. And you can actually hear, I can actually hear in my mind right now, the claw and the swords clashing against each other. And it just said, yeah, if I could hear that in my head, it is definitely going to be number 5. But number 4, and has the same character from the last cover, Magic and Colossus issue number 3, the cover A regular David Nakayama cover, Shadows of Tomorrow tie-in. Now you can see in the reflection of the sword, if you can see it, that Colossus is in the reflection of that sword. And it looks like that Magic is going to be going up against Colossus. So first she attacks Wolverine in the last cover. Now this one she's going to be going up against Colossus. Good idea or bad idea? I don't know. But that's what the cover says there. It could go either very good or very bad for her. So that I don't know. But really nice. Number 3 goes to Man of Steel issue number 1, the facsimile edition cover A, regular John Bryan cover of this one. This was really cool. Of how Superman just does his regular, dun dun dun, when he takes off, when he does that rip in his suit, and that shows Superman symbol underneath the suit. It shows the symbol of truth, justice, in the American way. And when I saw that, I said, yes, that actually works as my number 3 pick. Very, very much so works. Number 2 goes to Lost Fantasy issue number 9, the cover A regular Luca Casalanguida cover for this one. And again, it shows a showdown, it shows the swords, and this one looks like this character means business of saying, let me through, or there's going to be a battle of the sword. So that one right there, the stare down with the swords, was for number 2. But I don't think it's going to beat this number 1 that I chose, because for number 1 for that week, I chose the winner, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder number 7, cover B variant Alberto Gemez Alburquerque cover. And what I like about this cover of Shredder is that, I mean, look at the cover of Shredder. Just doing that slash and all that with the Foot Clan, and badass right there is why I chose that for my number one pick of the third week of April's going up against the other number ones. Or the two covers I chose for number one. So there was that. So now we're going to go with the top 5 covers that I chose for the week of April 22nd. Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 19, cover D variant Terry Todson cover of DC All In. You have Wonder Woman with the lasso of truth, and coming up right beside her is also the sword that she uses. I noticed that Wonder Woman's been using a sword a lot more than a lasso of truth, but giving a sword to Wonder Woman adds a finishing touch to this artwork. I really like the artwork along with the background that they chose for that as well. Really adds a lot of effect to the comic book. Number 4 goes to Absolute Flash, issue number 14. The cover B variant Steven Segovia cover of DC All In. You have the Flash right there with his lightning and thunder. Either he stopped or is ready to go running with his lightning abilities of going lightning fast. So for that one being really, really epic, that one I chose for number 4. Number 3 goes to Hulk Smash Everything number 5, cover a regular Adam Kubert cover. The Hulk is holding our planet Earth. And when the Hulk is holding that planet and it's about to be crushed and everything else, yeah, there's cracks in and everything else, so I don't think we want to have the Hulk doing that to our planet we live on, because then we'd all be dead. But this one was really awesome for that to be number 3. Number 2 is the Amazing Spider-Man Spider-Versity. Number 1, the cover F, Incentive Ta Nukit variant cover. And the reason why I chose this one, you have Spider-Man, Miles, and Spider-Gwen in the background, and I like how Peter Parker and Miles are holding the controllers, playing the video game, whatever video game that they're playing. I like that. Again, it's the togetherness. The 3 original Spider-Man, or the Spider people who are hanging out together, just enjoying a day, because superheroes gotta have their enjoyment every once in a while. So I thought that should be an enjoyment, but it does not compete with this number 1 pick that I chose for that week. And for that week I chose Marvel DC Spider-Man Superman number 1 one-shot cover variant Ryan Stegman cover. Now I know that I said before, or I believe it was in the last video, of the Superman Spider-Man that I chose for this one, but this one is the Spider-Man Superman number 1. Still, both of my favorite number 1 favorite superheroes are shown on the comic cover, and the way it looks is amazing. Superman flying and Spider-Man using his webs like that says, yes, Michael, this is your number 1 pick, and I said, I agree that this one will be the number 1 pick, and going up against the other number 1 picks that I chose for that month. So we go on to now the last and final week of April. For the first time in doing the weekly comic covers of the 5 Wednesdays, because in the other months there are other 5 Wednesdays, but I'm not going to say what months they are, because I don't, I know that there's another one that's going to be down the line, but let's get into last week's of April's comic covers of April 29th. And here's that comic cover again, the Tomb Raider Sacred Artifacts issue number 4, art by Antonio Di Caprio. You have Lara Croft, who's going up against someone who was behind this whole thing, and yes, I have been reading this comic book as well, because it's Tomb Raider. And you have her classic outfit shooting off against someone who she's going up against, and it looks like she's going to be up with one hell of a challenge to try and defeat this person that, well, you gotta read the story to understand it, but I chose this cover because it's Lara Croft, it's awesome. She's my favorite female character that I like to play in the video games, so definitely for that one, got to go to that. Number 4, DCKO number 1, the cover S4 PTGA Javier Fernandez logo color variant cover for that one. And for those of you who read DCKO of that, I mean, Superman won the whole thing, so that's kind of why probably Superman's on the front and center cover of that. And, whoops, don't want to drop that now. Yeah, just what's going on in the background, along with just Superman just right there with what he's doing. That's what really called out to me as number 4 to choose that one and share with all of you. This comic book I read, Planet She-Hulk, issue number 6, the cover D incentive, Stephanie Hahn's variant cover. What I like about this, you have a close-up of She-Hulk, and you have to wonder, what is she thinking? Along with holding that sword and that gladiator armor still. And you feel that character from her, because when you read this comic book, you know exactly probably why she is like this. And what's deep in her thoughts too. But this one was another favorite art that I liked of the Planet She-Hulk. So I figured that goes for number 3. Almost number 1. Almost. But I chose this as number 2. Zatanna, Volume 4, Issue number 1, Cover B variant, Kuyang Yum cover. Zatanna has her very own comic book that's coming out. And Zatanna is a very interesting character. I loved reading about her character in the past. I believe she appeared in some Justice League Dark issues, if I'm not mistaken. Or in other issues. But I cannot wait to read about her. And this cover invites you to say, read me. And I'm like saying, yes, I will read this comic book and definitely give my thoughts about that. But I just love the artwork itself. You know, with her magic powers that she uses, and it shows the background. It definitely describes her character very, very well. But it cannot compete with number 1 that I chose for that week. And that was Doom 2099, Rage of Doom number 1, one-shot, cover B variant, Peach Momoko cover for that one. And what I like about this is that, you know, everyone's been talking about Doom, especially in the movies with the person with Robert Downey Jr. who now plays as Doom for that one. But this one right here, it has like the hands with the lightning coming out of it. And what I like about this one was just that. It adds the feel to the character of Doom. So that's why I definitely chose that as my number 1 pick. So, out of all the 5 weeks that I've done of April, what is the winner and cover of the month for April to put into the pool of the 12 months face-off at the December end of the year? That winner, simply hands down, goes to Marvel DC Spider-Man Superman number 1 one-shot cover variant, Ryan Stegman cover, is the definite winner for the April comic cover for that month. Just enough said. 2 of my favorite superheroes, and this artwork right here is enough to say it all to win for that April month. And that'll be it, guys, and that's all for the marathon that I have for the top 5 weekly comic covers. Thank you all so much for watching these 3 videos. As of we are in May, I will be doing every week from here on in of that. So instead of doing like what I just did, this one, this was fun to do. And I'm looking forward to sharing more of the comic covers that are going to be coming out for the month of May. And at the end of the month, share what my comic covers of the month of that is going to be. So with that, and until next time, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I'm Mike saying take care, and I'll see you next time in another episode of the Top 5 Weekly Comic Covers. Take care, and I'll see you later.